that bind us together, principles that some of us. He paused, his gaze lingering on the empty spaces where Crusher, Crow, and Bull had stood, seemed to have forgotten the assembled members. Nodded solemnly, their expressions a mix of agreement and regret. For their former brother's actions, Keanu stood quietly among them, feeling both an outsider and an integral part of this tight-knit community. Derek continued, his voice gaining strength as he spoke. This club was founded on the values we held dear. During our service, honor, respect, and the unwavering support of our brothers and sisters in arms, what happened today was a disgrace to everything we stand for. He turned to Keanu, gesturing for him to step forward. Our brother, Keanu here, who has supported us silently for years, was subjected to harassment and threats, and worse. These actions were directed not just at him, but at an elderly woman, his mother. A murmur of disapproval rippled through the crowd. Derek's eyes flashed with barely contained fury as he detailed the events that had transpired. They violated our most basic tenets: respect for others, especially those who have supported us, and protection of the vulnerable. Their actions reflect poorly on all of us and everything we've built here. As Derek spoke, Keanu could see the impact of his words on the faces around him. Some looked angry, others ashamed that members of their club could have acted in such a way, but in all of them there was a resolve to uphold the values that Derek was reaffirming. Let this serve as a reminder to all of us, Derek continued, his voice softening slightly. We are more than just a club. We are a family bound by shared experiences and a commitment to being better men than we were yesterday. We owe it to ourselves, to each other, and to supporters like Keanu to live up to those ideals every day. As Derek's words faded, a respectful silence fell over the room. The weight of the day's events and the reaffirmation of their values seemed to settle on everyone's shoulders. It was a moment of collective reflection, a recommitment to the principles that had brought them together in the first place. After a moment, Derek's expression softened, and he turned to Keanu with a warm smile. Now, brother, I believe we owe you a drink, and some long overdue. Catching up, the tension in the room began to dissipate as members moved to greet Keanu personally. Some shook his hand vigorously, while others offered heartfelt thanks for his years of support. The atmosphere shifted from one of solemn judgment to warm camaraderie. As Keanu mingled with the veterans, he found himself drawn into conversations about their lives, their struggles, and their triumphs. One member, a grizzled older man with a pronounced limp, approached him with tears in his eyes. Mr. Reeves, he said, his voice gruff with emotion, I don't know if you remember, but 5 years ago, your donation helped fund my knee surgery. I was in a bad way then, couldn't work, was close to losing everything. That surgery gave me my life back. I've never had the chance to thank you properly. Keanu, touched by the man's words, clasped his hand warmly. I'm just glad I could help, he said sincerely, and please call me Keanu. More stories like this emerged. Veterans spoke of how the club had been a lifeline when they were struggling to readjust to civilian life, how the support and camaraderie had helped them battle PTSD, unemployment, and family challenges. And in many of these stories, Keanu's quiet generosity played a crucial role. Keanu felt a lump forming in his throat. He'd always known his donations were helping, but hearing these personal accounts brought home the real impact of his support in a way no financial report ever could. Derek, watching these interactions with a smile, approached Keanu with 2 beers in hand. You know, he said, handing one to Keanu, I don't think you ever realize just how much of an impact you've had on these men's lives. Your support goes far beyond just writing checks. You've given these guys hope, a chance to rebuild their lives, and to see you here again after all these years. Keanu accepted the beer with a nod of thanks, his eyes scanning the room thoughtfully. I'm just glad I could help, he said quietly. These men have sacrificed so much. They deserve all the support We can give them. As the two men clinked their bottles in a toast, Keanu felt a deep sense of satisfaction. The day had started with tension and conflict, but it had led him here to this moment of genuine connection and purpose. The day had shown that Vile wasn't the answer. His years of quiet support for the biker club had come full circle, protecting him and his mother in their moment of need. As he looked around the clubhouse, surrounded by men whose lives he touched through his generosity, Keanu realized that sometimes the most meaningful destinations are the ones we never planned to reach.